everybody, my name is GN, and today we're doing something out of the ordinary on my channel. We're doing a lore video of Gears of War. This video will be about the lead up towards the first Gears of War game, more about the history before the first Gears of War game took place. So let's dive into that.
With billions dead, humans denied their enemy control by destroying their own civilization.
Firstly, we're gonna explore the Emergence Day. Let's discuss the title Emergence Day, right? So Emergence Day is a cataclysmic event that occurred on a seemingly ordinary day when the Locust Horde emerged from the underground tunnels as the Hollow. I mean, yeah, they came from the underground and they said, hello, I'm here and I'm gonna destroy the frickin' Earth. But you know, the interesting thing is it's not on Earth, it's a completely different planet in a different universe at all. So this is on planet Sarah. So just to clarify, this is not on planet Earth, this is completely on a different planet, planet Sarah.
Okay, let's get out of here. We gotta get fucking out of here, man.
Oh my God. Control, this is Delta. We have a berserker in the vicinity. Please advise.
Now, the Locust is a species previously unknown to humanity, so, you know, humanity didn't know about the whole Locust Horde thing, so now they came out, they freaking killed everybody, and that's an interesting story. And they launched a coordinated and devastating assault on major human population centers across, hear this, planet Sarah.
By destroying their own civilization.
And then there it is. Now, this is a surprise attack caught humanity off guard. Humanity was off guard completely, and I think this was like leading the widespread chaos and destruction of loss of life. So yeah, a lot of people died that day, and it's an interesting, very, very heartbroken day. And then Emergence Day also marked the beginning of a protracted and brutal conflict that would come to define the future of Sarah. So no, it won't be a normal Sarah planet anymore. It will be a infested Locust Horde son of a gun, and nobody is normal anymore, and everything is infested. And it is a horrible day for friggin' planet Sarah. Bro, I wish I was on that planet. It would be friggin' awesome. The next title that we will be discussing is the Pendulum Wars. Before the emergence of the Locust Horde, Sarah was already, embroiled in a long-standing military conflict known as the Pendulum Wars, lasting for over 79 years. That's a long time. The Pendulum Wars were fought between the coalition of ordered governments, known as the COG, and the Union of Independent Republicans, the UIR. So over control of the planet's natural resources, particularly the valuable energy source known as emulsion. The Pendulum Wars left Sarah's landscape scattered and its population wary, and obviously setting the stage for the chaos that would follow with the emergence of the Locust Horde. Now, the emergence of the Locust Horde started with Queen Mira. Queen Mira is a central character in the Gears of War series, serving as the leader of the Locust Horde and a formidable antagonist to the coalition of ordered governments known as the COG and humanity. Her backstory adds depth to the conflict between the Locust Horde and humanity. Queen Mira was born to a human scientist named Dr. Helen Cooper and an unnamed father, that's unfortunate, who was a member of the Saren military. Mira's birth was a result of the New Hope Research Facility that experimented aimed at creating soldiers genetically resisting to rust lung, a deadly disease plaguing the human population of Syrah. Dr. Cooper led the research at the facility, and Mira was one of the test subjects. So Mira was genetically engineered with DNA from the indigenous locust species found within the hollow. The experimentation resulted in Mira's being born with a unique appearance resembling the locust creatures, and it was possessing the intelligence and capabilities of a human. Despite her hybrid nature, Mira was raised as a human by her mother, by Dr. Cooper. So here we understand that the locust creatures were a man-made thing from a hybrid nature of Mira, who was born to withstand emulsion. Now, despite her human upbringing, Mira faced discrimination and prejudice from society due to her appearance of origins. She was shunned by her peers and ostracized by human population, leading to feelings of bitterness and resentment towards humanity. Now, her rise to power as tensions between humanity and the Locust Horde escalated, and Mira's emerged as a charismatic leader among the Locusts, rallying them against humanity and uniting the desperate factions within the Horde. With her intelligence, determination, and influence, Mira's ascended to become the queen of the Locust Horde, leading her people in relentless war against the humans on the surface. Mira's motivation are driven by a desire for vengeance against humanity for the mistreatment of her and her people. She views the surface dwellers as invaders and of the planet Syrah, and she seeks to reclaim what she sees as the rightful domain of the Locust Horde. So Mira is fiercely dedicated to the survival and prosperity of her people, willing to do whatever it takes to ensure their victory in the war against humanity. Throughout the Gears of War series, Queen Mira serves as a formidable antagonist, leading Locust Horde in their relentless campaign against humanity, and her backstory adds complexity to the conflict between the two factions, exploring the themes of identity, revenge, and the consequences of scientific experimentation. So, the emergence of the Locust Horde is a result of escalating tension between humanity and subterranean species, fueled by territorial disputes and ideological differences. So the Locust Horde's sudden and coordinated attack on Merge's Day caught humanity off guard and plunged Syrah into a devastating war for survival. So that's how we understand that Queen Mira and her Locust Horde came about, destroying every inch of the world of Syrah. And that is how we know that it's not a mystery, even though Mira has some kind of emulsion thing going on in her body, and we would like to go on with that. So anyway, let's go on to the military campaigns and losses. It began with whispers of disappearance, of entire outposts vanishing without a trace. Rumors circulated among the soldiers, tales of new enemy lurking beneath the surface, waiting to strike, but these warnings went unheeded, dismissed as nothing more than fear-mongering. The battle for survival had begun, but it was a battle that would come at cost. Obviously, this led to many speculation of General Hoffman in this case, that said these exact words: "Gentlemen, we have reports of increased enemy activity in the Jacinto Plateau. Our scouts have encountered strange creatures, hostile and relentless. We cannot afford to ignore this threat any longer." And yet the Soldier 1 said, "What do you think we're up against here?" And then Soldier 2 said, "Who knows? But whatever it is, it ain't gonna be pretty." Well, now we went on to Soldier 3 that said, "Contact, they're everywhere." And then yet we are in the battle of survival, and it was a battle that would come at a cost, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months. The losses began to mount, entire units were decimated, their remains left to rot in the unforgiving wilderness. But amidst the despair, a glimmer of hope emerged. A small band of soldiers hardened by battle and fueled by determination, rose to the challenge led by legendary Marcus Phoenix. They became known as the Delta Squad, the last line of defense against the encouraging darkness. And then, obviously we go to Marcus Phoenix saying, "We may be outnumbered, outgunned, we will not falter. We will stand our ground and fight until our last breath. For Etheria, for humanity." And somehow, he got locked up for that, whole Etheria thing. And yeah, that's so the stage was set to the greatest conflict in the world had ever known. The fate of the humanity hung in balance, their survival depended on the courage and sacrifice of those who dare to defy the darkness. And this is the story of the fall of Etheria, and the prelude to war that would change the course of history forever, and obviously the military losses to, a lot of things disappearing and Cog dying. A lot of other characters before Gears of War 1 that had died against the General Rom from Gears of War 3 actually in the DLC version, which I actually played just long ago. But yeah, anyway, moving on. The Battle of Etheria stands as a defining moment in the early stages of the war between the humanity and the Locust Horde. Okay? This is very, very, very early stages. Etheria, one of Sera's largest and most fortified cities, became a battleground as Cog forces made a desperate stand against the advancing Locust forces. It's weird because it's like every enemy has some kind of big-ass monster or some kind of weapon, and humanity cannot stop it for some freaking odd reason, and I have no idea why that is. It's like Transformers 3 movie, there was a part where the guy said, "How does the Transformers bad guys always have the cool shit?" Yeah, that's basically what this is. It's totally freaking rip-off. Anyway, among the survivors was Marcus Phoenix. Now, this is the main character of the story. Marcus Phoenix, the best character, and he's also the best character in like all the following games, if you understand what I'm saying. A former Cog soldier who would, later become a central figure in the fight against the Locust threat. So these events set the stage of the events of the first Gears of War game, where players are thrust into the midst of a desperate struggle for survival against the relentless forces of the Locust Horde. So that is the short kind of version. We can go deeper in this, but this is the short kind of version of how everything came about, leading towards the frickin' Gears of War franchise, the first Gears of War franchise, and how Marcus Phoenix became the champion of the world and kicking all the other games' ass. Probably not, it's probably better than frickin' Halo. I don't know. Halo is a first-person game, but we'll get onto that later on. Cheers.